that inner thing saying, you don't look good enough. Well, who told us that? Who told us that? Who ingrained us? And then I blame the fashion world for that. You know, telling us that we had to, in my day, you had to look like Twiggy.
It was weird. It felt like my 13-year-old self kind of showed up again. Like these insecurities that I thought I had killed.
Nope.
Came back and they were all just right there.
So obviously Randi is obviously taking the reins because that's what she does and got us started a little bit. But when she asked me to do this, I was so excited, said of course. And this is our second talk, our second little pop-up live podcast, and we are featuring her Shine collection, and I'm so excited to be part of this, and I'm so excited to do this one. I want you guys to welcome Jillian Hervey. She's a singer, she's a dancer, she's a vocalist of electronic soul duo Lion Babe. You grew up in New York. You studied dance at the New School, and I know you initially obviously studied dance. How did we decide that we were going to shift to music?
That's a long story.
It's a long question, but it's okay, we have time.
Yeah, I always have identified as a dancer first and foremost. Like it was my foundation for my training and just kind of my performative qualities and all of these things. But through dance, I found just this confidence as a performer. And I think as I was studying, I wanted to branch out and do more within, you know, my vehicle. And so I loved singing. I loved the idea of singing for the longest time, but it kind of wasn't until I was a trained dancer going out to be professional that I was like, you know, I could do Broadway. Like, I could write a song, you know, and also, like she was saying, in the art community, you're constantly immersed with other people that are doing similar passions. So the ideas become more tangible because people actually want to work together and make something happen. So that's really what kind of shifted me into even thinking about singing, but it was framed as I want to be a performance artist. And as I started building kind of dance films and things and singing on stage while I was dancing, I met my partner Lucas, who's now my baby daddy, partner in life, co-collaborator on everything. And we first worked together. He scored a piece that I was working on at school, and it was like, at the time I was into animals, and I'm like, I want it to be animalistic, I want beats, and he was just really easy to work with, and that's kind of, he gave me the invitation of like, oh, well, maybe we can write a song now, and that's really like, it was very organic, and we kind of just did it as a fun way of connecting, and then we just kept going.
It's interesting that he started out as sort of just like this artistic collaborator, this artistic partner, and it morphed into that because I think a lot of those moments when you're making art, you know, they overlap, right?
Yes, of course.
And I know that Randi, you always say that this was never really your plan. Like you loved fashion, you loved making your own clothes when you were growing up. But I mean, you really were like a Broadway girl. Like that was.
Well, I wanted to be a Broadway girl. My parents didn't want me to be a Broadway girl, and they pushed me into classic. And I was a concert pianist since I'm 4, and performing since I'm 4. And music was my life. And I back then I didn't know that you could do something else or move into other fields. Even though in my heart, in my soul, I knew I wanted to move into other fields because I loved dance was my thing. But my mother, what are you going to do with dancing? You know, what are you going to do on Broadway? It wasn't encouraged, but it's like I always say, talent is like a tube of toothpaste. If you cap it off at the top, it squeezes out somewhere else. It just has to come out if you truly are an artist, and that's what happened.
Yeah, and I know that you grew up in New York City, like initially, correct?
I actually was born in LA.
Okay.
I grew up in Westchester.
Okay, so right, New York adjacent.
And then I came here for college.
And do you feel like that like helped shape some of what you do now and shape you as a person in general?
Oh, I mean, New York is like, that's like my real partner in life.
Yeah.
I feel like,
I totally agree.
Like,
oh my God.
The whole Carrie walking through the streets and then talking to the city, and always feel like, I always call it her, but she's like always putting people in front of me. I'm like walking and I'm thinking about someone, and the next thing I turn and they're right there. And it's one of those cities that's so unique, and like it really feels like it has a life, like a heartbeat, and just the whole quality of it matches with everything I do, how I do it. You know, I might need to go out at 2 a.m. to like let out some energy.
Of course you do.
There's a lot of ways to do that. You know, it's easy to do it, and and it's free, and everyone's here, and it's a big mix of everything. So it just feels affirming to like. There's no one way to
Totally
be here.
agree. Totally
Do you
agree.
think you could have done like what, or like achieved what you achieved, Randi, anywhere else?
No, absolutely not. No, definitely not. I always say I'm born and bred in New York. I'm a New Yorker. I'm here to stay. I could not.
I always say to people, I mean, I just feel like everyone should live in New York City like once, like at one point, even if it's for like, I don't know, like a summer, or like it's just this, like you said, it's like it's this being, it's this thing, it is bigger than just the city, and I feel like it can touch so many people when they come here, even if it's for like a week or so. Now you have worked with Pharrell, Childish Gambino, Busta Rhymes. Do you have a dream collaboration that you've yet to get in the studio with, or to work with in any capacity?
Good question.
I'm always open to absolutely everything. I would love to be with like a true female legacy act. Obviously, I did. My mom is Vanessa Williams, and I worked with her, and we finally made a song together, which was fab and an amazing moment.
I bet.
Oh, that must have been very special, because even though she's a star to us, she's your mom.
I know, it was a lot of pressure in my mind. And then she was she gave me the reins to do literally, like I wrote the treatment for the video, you know, she just gave me the song, we remixed it, like she gave me full ownership, which was awesome. And I just wanted to make her proud. But someone of that caliber, like Janet or Shaka Khan, or like, I'm going like from people that, you know, really kind of laid the ground roots of like how to be these larger than life characters and musicians, someone like that.
I mean, is there something, you've dressed everybody, Randi? Is there anybody that you're like, well, I know a couple people you've told me in private that you'd love to dress, but anyone like right now that you're like, if I could just get my hands on them, and
Well,
put my clothing on them.
Yes, I mean for the past 8 years, now she's such a big star, you can't touch her. There was a little girl that I thought was so cute and so beautiful, and she just held herself so magnificently, so classy, but yet so talented, Zendaya. And now she is the biggest star. And, you know, that to me is ultimate power. She's powerful. She's still feminine. She's just
But she's badass.
eloquent.
She's totally badass.
Oh, God.
And I do know her, and I think one of the reasons that she's continued to like be so successful, I mean, I don't like know her like she's my friend, but I've interviewed her before, is she's always stayed close to like her family. Like her mom and dad were in the studio every time that she came up, and I think that kind of thing like keeps you grounded, because when you get into this industry, it can be very daunting, and you can lose your sense of reality, and she definitely hasn't. So
Right,
I think
that's the word. She's still real. She didn't lose sense of who she is as a human being.
So you said it, not me. Vanessa Williams is your mom.
Yes. I was like,
let's just
Get it out there.
But I mean, it's got to be an interesting experience for anybody that grows up as the child of somebody who's in the spotlight in any capacity. I mean, what was the experience like for you? Was it okay? Were you able to stay sheltered a little bit? Did it feel weird at all growing up?
It's literally all, it was I had no other choice. So
But you know no other thing, so
I
it's,
know
you
other
know.
things. I know different ways of, you know, how it can manifest. I mean, I think there was many reasons why we ended up leaving LA and coming here. She grew up in New York, so she loved Westchester, and she loved just like
It's Westchester.
out there, like small town pizzeria, you know, the guy at the hardware store, like all that stuff. She wanted us to have that little tight-knit community, and I think she had a very positive experience there. But, you know, it is one of those things where, like, for us, not only were we the famous family, but we were the only black family. So I think that was like something that that affected me more than her being my mom, if I have to be candid about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also separated myself deliberately for many years in my trajectory, because I just didn't want the pressure of trying to fill someone's shoes like that, which I think is why dance was the one part of it that I really dug into, because she was a dancer, but that wasn't like her shtick. Like she was a
Wasn't her
Broadway.
focus.
She was a Broadway girl, so that's why the voice I think didn't come until I was like, oh, I can do it all. And then now as I've grown, you know, if you asked me 6 or 7 years ago, would you ever do a song with your mom? I would have said, absolutely not. Like, are you kidding? Like, so, you know, but I think the more I just grow and understand things, like I feel more comfortable as an artist myself. I feel I've proven myself as my own thing. And also that was just a very deliberate choice coming out. I didn't want to be a Nepo baby. I didn't want to be like, this girl, like Vanessa's daughter, put out a song. I just wanted you to just be you. So, and that's kind of why Lion Babe is where I was like, that's my front name.
I mean, it must have been empowering then to come to New York City after feeling like maybe ostracized a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like I fell in love here with just the city and the feeling and the acceptance of just being myself.
Yeah. So we have like so many inspirations and places that we draw like experiences from. I saw your post about your Gaga and it like touched me so much, and I had to ask you about it. I mean,
it's my grandma.
Yes, it seemed like it seemed like she inspired you so much. It seemed like she touched you so much. I just wanted to know if you could like talk about her a little bit and how she did that for you, and then if you can think of anybody that was like really important growing up like that in your family, or a friend growing up that did that for you.
Well, I see the butterflies. Her favorite animal is the butterflies. Every time I see a butterfly, I'm like, Gaga. But yeah, I'm still like healing and dealing with it because it was so unexpected, and she really was the matriarch of our whole family, and kind of like even my mom's characters that have become these beloved things, like Wilhelmina Slater on Ugly Betty, and even Devil Wears Prada, where she is now, like that kind of like strong, bad, bitchy, rude girl is my grandmother. She would say that's okay to say, because she's like just stern and hardworking, and was just a class act, and was just funny, and just all the things that like in an unapologetic woman, like, and I think that's what she instilled with me, is like, you can do whatever you want to do. Like there's no limits. Don't ever let no be your end. Keep going. And she really just like was present. Like she was there every single day. Like, I mean, annoyingly, like, did you do your homework? I got the mail from the mailbox for us, would drop it off, say hi, check in, and leave. And her and my grandfather were both music teachers, so they were just like very disciplinary, but in a loving way. I think at the time I couldn't process it, but now, I mean, she was everything, and I feel so fortunate to have had such a close-knit relationship for so long. Yeah. And she like knew my friends like very well. Like it was just it's a rarity to have a grandmother that knows that many people and affects so many lives.
And a lot of times you don't even get to know certain grandparents because they pass away before you're old enough to really feel that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's so special.
Many years.
What about you, Rand?
I have a few, but since you're talking about grandmothers, I think how I came to all this was because of my grandmother. My grandmother, Tutti, we never called her grandma or anything. She did not want to be called grandma, and her name was Ruthie. And my sister couldn't say Ruthie, my older sister, and she said Tutti instead of Ruthie, and it stuck. And she was everything glamorous you could imagine. None of us looked like her. She was 5'6" and wore high heels and dark hair, Romanian beauty. And she was Diored from head to toe with the fur hat with the diamond pin and the cape and the high heels, all baby blue, all matching. And she was a force. And with the cigarettes, darling. She was something, and and she was kind and loving, and she would sit with us at the piano and play her one song, and then she was just very encouraging.
That's amazing.
Don't you know my grandmother?
Yes, I do know your grandma. Grandmas are very special.
They really are. They really are. I'm glad that we all have that in common.
Yeah.
So your mom obviously valued like your privacy and kind of growing up with that privacy, and I feel like it seems like you followed suit. Does that seem to be working out for you, and do you think that's because your mom did the same thing?
I think I'm just a private person. Like, and I feel like when I am performing, like my ass is out. Like I'm kicking my face. I'm twirling around and doing the most. I'm giving everything. I'm leaving everything on the stage. So I feel like I share so much of myself in other ways that when it comes to like my day to day and what I'm eating that day, like no one needs to know that.
I agree.
And also I just feel that I'm still in stages where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about something yet. Like I'm a new mom, he's 3, and of course I want to share it with the world, but then I'm also really protective of him. So it would be better to just share it with my family and when I feel comfortable, and also almost like when he's ready, if he wants to do it, then that would be something, but we're not there yet. So I'm like, let's just keep it intimate, and it feels more sacred that way.
how did becoming a mom for both of you impact just the way that you looked at how you were going to do your career, or how that you were going to play out your life?
Mine's a little shorter. At that moment, my career stopped.
Yeah.
And that's when I stopped being a concert pianist, because spending 10
Didn't you
hours a
think
day.
you would want to go back eventually?
I did. I thought I thought I wanted to go back to being on stage. But I need to. Reality sets in,
Yeah.
and I need to learn how to make a living, because although I had 2 children, I left my husband, and I needed to figure out how to navigate in life. And being a concert pianist or a dancer, that wasn't accomplished yet, or made it, because got married at 18, right out of high school.
That should be the conversation.
Yes, that is the story.
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, I just had to figure out life. But I was lucky enough to have people who said, "You're so talented. You're so talented. Do this, do this. It will help you make money and whatever." And I did. I followed the path. I followed the path of people encouraging me. And if I didn't have that, because my family didn't encourage me, it was others who said, "Oh my God, you're so talented. You should go." And I did. I mean, and the naivete of not knowing these things. Thank God I didn't know, because it would have stopped me. I just did it, because as my people who are with me here know, my motto is, there is no no. How? There is always a way. And that was how I got here. Now, you.
Miss.
I think I'm just again still going through the motions, and I kind of had to just own every stage, and I tried to just give myself grace, and of course being on stage and doing all that dancing, and that I was being this crazy, fun, effervescent, sexy thing for so long, that after I had him and thinking of the next show coming, I'm like, well, my body isn't where it was, and my legs aren't I'm swollen.
Everything changes.
And so you're just dealing with that, and it was weird. It felt like my 13-year-old self kind of showed up again, these insecurities that I thought I had killed. Came back, and they were all just right there, but I had a different choice this time, and I was like, I'm gonna just take you guys with me, and we'll all do this together. And I kind of just faked it until I think I was just like, I want to go out, and I want to wear something hip hugging and whatever, and I'm curvier now, but own it. And it felt okay. And then again, seeing friends and just feeling encouraged of I'm so happy for you that you're just still going, and then writing music while I'm breastfeeding, it just was just keep it moving, and eventually you'll find your, come back to yourself. And I feel like this year is the first year I feel back in my.
And I don't even know if you ever fully come back to yourself.
It's
you
different.
evolve.
Yeah,
Evolve.
Different
That's
self.
what I said. It's evolving. Everything is
Exactly.
evolving. You don't, and you just keep moving forward.
Yes.
Right. But that what you talked about is that inner thing saying you don't look good enough. Well, who told us that?
Right.
Who told us that? Who ingrained us? And then I blame the fashion world for that. Telling us that in my day, you had to look like Twiggy. Who the heck could look like Twiggy?
Well, that's one of the things I love about you as a designer. You've never turned anybody away. You literally dress for any shape, any size.
I think everyone should feel beautiful about themselves, and there's no reason why not.
Right.
Not everyone is built like those nymphet models.
Most
I mean,
aren't.
that's what I was going to say. It's 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
That it's really we're all the norm. And hey, damn, I want to look good and I want to feel good. I mean, and it doesn't mean that I have to weigh 90 pounds to look good. That is so wrong. And I think it's come around a little more in the past 10 years than ever. More athletic, more healthy. As long as you feel healthy and you feel good, there's all shapes and sizes and everything, and that's the way it should be. And I dress them all and make them look fabulous, darling.
I mean, we're certainly moving in the right direction, for sure. So was it scary for you to sort of share with the world that your son's father was your bandmate Lucas for years? Nobody knew that. Was that scary? people had no idea this whole time that this was what was happening?
I mean, I honestly think if you didn't know, like, really? I'm not pictured with anyone else for like a decade.
Fair.
And, you know, we do everything together. But no, it was one of those things that when we entered into it, we were so young and we were signing like with a major label. Like, we're signing with Universal. Like, we want to be taken seriously. So we didn't want them to even know. Like our label head knew, but like even the inner workings of our team weren't really sure.
Yeah.
So I think it was just really about being acknowledged for the art form, the music first, and then it just got to a point where like, oh, we haven't shared it, and then it's like, does anyone really care?
Yeah.
So then we just were like, we're just not gonna.
And
say
it was
anything.
everybody received it so beautifully. It seems like.
Yeah, and you know, it's just, again, I'm private. I'm not out here saying I'm going on a date tonight and this and that. So no one really assumed or not assumed. And then the baby, though, I'm like, well, if someone sees me. I gotta say something.
You had to have at least one date.
At least one day.
At least one date.
Yes, but it felt the right timing.
Good. What was the best advice you both have ever been given? And I'm sure you've been given tons of advice, but it's something that just pops up that has stuck with you, that you think about every once in a while.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I
mean, I have somebody who I work with closely here. That's one thing that they told me was never say no to anything. Like, go to, you never know what this is going to lead to. Like, I would not feel like Amy going to a certain event and she'd be like, go, and then I would meet somebody there that turned into like this amazing opportunity. So to just try to be open to all these things, even if you like didn't feel like it, it's like you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what that meeting somebody could turn into.
That's great advice.
Yeah, it was good advice.
Right. I can't really think of something in specific like that. Sorry.
That's fine. Do you have anything, Jillian?
I guess if I'm thinking from like a music standpoint, like working with someone like Pharrell and Mark Ronson was incredible. They were literally like,
To die for.
All right. Jealous.
But their just kind of their demeanor and like their whole approach to everything was like kind of obviously lose the ego and just get the job done for the day. You know, I think they were more about finishing whatever they started that day rather than this has to be perfect. And I think when you look back and you have a week that you've made X amount of songs versus one song that's not finished and you're racking your brain because you think it's going to be this masterpiece, like that becomes more disheartening as the journey goes on. So just the idea of kind of like the precious gems, like just keep working, keep powering through, keep creating, and you know, basically that inner critic again, like shut them up by just keep working. And I feel like that's taken me far.
What about advice to your younger self, like little Jillian, like little Randi, or even something that you wish that you had said to them today?
Exactly what I talk about. I would say stop worrying about feeling good about yourself in every situation, whether I don't feel I look good or are they gonna like me or whatever, and then just enjoy the moment. They go so fast, life goes so fast. We waste so much time second guessing ourselves or not thinking we're good enough or maybe we shouldn't or that question. And if I can take back even half of that, I'd probably have a third of my life back.
That's so true. I mean, similar
Because that's exactly what we're still talking about. You just had the baby and you think you're not good. Who? You're fabulous.
Also not to take things so personally too. You know, you never know how everyone's dealing with their own stuff every single day, and you know, it's all you always have a choice. You know, your choice of reacting in a certain way is yours, and you have to own that. You know,
I'm working on that right now.
Exactly, we all are.
Yes.
I mean, so.
We're always a work in progress. I think, you know, every day if you don't learn something, then you didn't live life until its fullest. Because I think you really every day should come away with something.
And I think it's really important, like something that I think has helped me in my career is like not to take yourself too seriously.
Oh yeah.
Like you have to be able to laugh at yourself. Like this is insane what we do. Like it's just like this is crazy this world we live in. This is crazy the things that we do. Like laugh. Like it's fun. It's funny. It's not always going to be perfect, and like that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw something that you posted that I really, really loved, and this is kind of go against that a little bit, but I mean, it talked a bit about like some superhuman powers that we have, right? Like compassion, inner healing, kindness. But if you could have like an actual superpower, have you ever thought about this? I feel like people talk about this, and I can never decide.
I'm always thinking about it.
Okay.
I feel like I'm shifting.
Want invisibility?
Right.
Do I want Like,
Right.
I just watched Wonder Woman the other day again, just because it felt timely. And I mean, I just love her. We have a song. The song I wrote with Pharrell is called Wonder Woman. So she's kind of like always been my girl.
Yeah.
I love the lasso of truth. I just love her power and her confidence, and growing up on a land with goddesses, like flying off of horses. I'm like, that's my kind of
Oh, I like
kind
that.
of world.
You were
Covered gold.
much more creative. I was thinking of, do I want to be invisible? Do I want, that kind of thing. Invisible seems pretty.
Invisible scares me because then I feel like you would hear things that you didn't want to hear sometimes.
Well, we do anyway.
That's true.
What? We do anyway. This way we can hear it without knowing, No, I don't know. A superpower, probably to heal. To heal people.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my superpower. I remember watching, it was one of the Star Trek movies, and they come from another time into 1960 something, and the doctor, Spock, had a machine or something, and he went into one of our current hospitals, and he stuck the machine. He said, "Why are you laying down?" And the guy looks like he's dying of whatever he was dying of, and he puts the machine on him, and he gets up off the gurney, and everyone in the hospital goes, "Oh, it's a miracle. He was dying of whatever, I'd like to have that little machine to go, chonk.
That would be good.
What are your goals for the year, both of you? Or like, what can we expect from you? What's coming up in 2025 for you two powerhouse women?
We have another album coming.
Ooh.
So that's what we're really trucking away every day recently. We've been kind of studio bound, and and we have festival seasons coming up.
Yes.
So
Are we going
getting
to see
ready
you
for
at some
shows.
of those?
I'm doing a lot of Pride events, but like not in New York as of yet.
Okay.
But who knows?
All right.
Oh, we have to make that happen.
We'll manifest it right
Yeah.
now.
Yes, right now. New York. Brian? Brian? There's someone in the room?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
New York? Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, I've been working on this wonderful jewelry collection that's been very difficult to get the production of it. So I've been working on that, hoping that will come. But this new venture with doing affordable pieces, I'm really enjoying it because, oh yeah, I can finally afford you, that kind of a thing. And I feel it feels so good. Oh my God, it feels so good. Because I like people to feel good about themselves.
Yeah. So art, fashion, music, like all these things, it's very clear that those are your passions. Is there any passion that, or something that you really love to do, like I don't know, a skill you have or a hobby you have that we would be surprised to hear that you care about or like to do?
Surprise?
Do you clog? I don't know.
mean, I feel like a lot of artists that I know, like if they're creatives, all the other creative things they tend to be
Right.
good at as
Like
well.
you like to paint?
Or I love painting.
Okay.
I love cooking.
Okay.
But I think it's just like when you have a bunch of stuff and you're like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
make? Like those are the things I like to do. And then the one random shot, if I was living an alternative life, I'd probably want to be like a marine biologist or something.
For real?
I absolutely love the ocean. I've always loved
Ooh.
animals out there. I love being by water. So yeah.
I love that.
I like that. If I had another career that I always had really great interest and really didn't do much with it, I love archaeology. I find it fascinating. They just opened up a new room in Pompeii. I don't know if you've seen it on the news. I mean, it's just incredible. I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I find that fascinating. Other civilizations
Yes.
that lived before us and how they thought and the things that they did. And here's the proof.
Right.
And it's fascinating.
I love that. All right, so we're obviously here to talk about fashion. So let's talk some more fashion. You clearly, just from watching you and reading up on you, you are very you're very expressive. I feel like you're very expressive with your fashion. Do you dress for your mood? Do you wake up in the morning and I feel like this and that's what you wear? How do they kind of correlate?
I don't know what the correct term is, but
There's no
been a lot
correct
of,
term.
like,
However you want to express
but even
it.
as of late, someone like a Zendaya, like they said there's like theme dressing going on, like people are dressing to their movie or something. I feel like I've been doing that my entire life. So I've always like I try to meet the moment with my clothes. So if I know I'm performing like at the Box in the LES, like, and it's cabaret,
right.
but then I know my set, the type of music I'm trying to bring, I just try to incorporate like whatever that mood board is in my head into that. So that's really kind of how I've gone along.
And I just feel like, Randi, like whenever I see you, you just look amazing. You just look like you're on the red carpet, and like maybe you just always like, I don't know, do you have days when you're like, I'm gonna throw on jeans and a t-shirt, or never?
Oh, you do, yes.
Coming from one of her best
Wait,
friends.
girls, come to the office. Yes, I do. Not a lot.
Right.
Not a lot. I like I said before, I find that in the morning, if I don't feel good about how I feel, the rest of the day doesn't go as well. So I at least get myself to a point that I feel, okay, I want somebody to say, oh, you look nice.
Right.
You know, and that if somebody else recognizes that I took the effort, that whatever, that sets my day off great. So I try to, look decent. Plus I'm seeing clients and, you have to.
Look fabulous.
Right.
When was the last time that you felt like really, really beautiful? Like you looked in the mirror and you were like, God damn it.
Ooh.
I mean, I feel like you should right now.
Today was not bad. I'm doing well for a Wednesday. I do think though, like this is cheesy, but I love after taking a bath with my son, like looking in the mirror at us, and because he loves looking in the mirror, and I'm like, I feel so beautiful, like because it's just so raw and like no one sees that except us,
Right.
So that's amazing. And then I went to the audition the other night for a friend's birthday and had a lot of fun. Felt really pretty then. So yeah.
The most recent was the last year's Tonys. I put on a dress from 1989.
Stop it.
Gown, no joke. I put on a gown and I felt so great. I couldn't believe I looked that good in that dress, and the whole night was that way. And I felt like I was posing the whole night. Everyone was taking it was fabulous. That was my fabulous night.
Do you have any fashion icks, like when you see something, like whether it's like just somebody walking down the street or like a man, like if you've gone on a date with a man, or if your man like put something on, you're just like, no, we're not doing that. That is not gonna work for me.
I mean, this is a very like specific thing, but like, obviously I've played with hair forever, and I always like wigs to look not wiggy. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah,
It's
sure.
like,
Right.
and if you're gonna go for the wig, like go for the wig
Yes.
hard. Don't try to do the in between.
Yeah.
It's confusing. And, that's my one way.
That's a good one though. That's a really good one.
It's a real thing.
Right.
Do I have an ick?
I'm sure you have tons.
That's the whole thing. I have tons of little things that I, don't like, but one big one, I don't like you talked about men, I don't like super crunchy granola-y,
That's not your thing.
That's not my thing.
No.
I like when they look polished and dapper and handsome and care about themselves. But I also love, give me a Hell's Angel and give me Sam Elliott back in the day and I can do that too,
I like it. Comfy or sexy undergarments? I'm never not gonna ask this.
Okay.
Comfy or sexy undergarments?
Like either like underneath your clothes or like when you go to sleep. Are you wearing something like sexy or you're just throwing on like an old like t-shirt and underwear?
I'm so an old t-shirt.
Me too. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm comfy. I think I'm comfy because when I am going out, I think everything's bunched up and sealed.
I want to let it all out.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out.
Free and
Yeah.
silk kimono.
Yeah.
That's the most elegant I'll get in bed.
Well, anyone that knows me,
We know.
I love lingerie, and I never not go to sleep without a beautiful. I love to feel pretty.
Even when you go to
I like to
sleep.
be pretty, and it's by myself. It's for myself. I'm not with anyone. Yeah, I love lingerie.
Favorite fashion accessory?
Ooh. I do love a good shoe. I love a stomper. And then I guess What's another one? I mean, I usually just end up wearing my mom's like old bags, her designer bags.
Yeah.
She has like
Those are the
pretty
best.
little, like 90s Prada, little
Yeah, of
clutches
course.
and Chanel, and they just are timeless and they feel so chic. And like if you are in a sweatsuit and you want to like, you know, make
Kill
it
it.
a little bit, elevate it, you have something like that. So yeah.
Well, that's another thing that anybody who knows me, I'm a shoe crazo. Beyond. Shoes are it, but give me some good jewelry. I'm pretty happy with that too. You know?
Yeah, like I feel like I'd rather wear like jeans and a t-shirt and then wear like great earrings and great like bangles and like do that to dress it up.
Yeah.
Is there photographic evidence of a look that you're like, I wish that someone could burn that because I don't want anyone to ever see that ever again? I
That's a
can't
good.
see you regretting any looks, but maybe you do.
I don't know.
I love that.
I don't. I think it wasn't really a fail or anything. It was just like an unfortunate moment. I was at the British Fashion Awards now 7 years or something, and it was very last minute to just go because they didn't even know if I was going to be in town. And Stella McCartney wanted to send me something, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And she sent me a few things, and a couple were dresses, but one was like a jumpsuit that had like these little cheetahs all over it that was silk. And the dresses just ended up not working, and we had like 30 minutes to get ready. So I wore the jumpsuit, and it was cute, but it was not like how I wanted to enter the
First choice.
Fashion,
first
yeah,
British
sure.
Fashion Awards. So that's always been like, oh, I wish I had that moment again to like pack a punch. But it was fine. It was still a cute outfit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, I've always looked amazing.
I love you.
I love you.
No, I don't think I'm ever happy.
Okay. that's
Okay,
fully.
I'm fully happy. That's one of my. I'm a perfectionist to a fault, and I will always find something wrong.
yeah.
You know, but like I said, the Tonys was the last time. You know, there's times, but yeah.
Okay. All right, just 2 or 3 more, and I will let you go enjoy. If you could raid anybody's closet, who would you raid? Like celebrity, friend, family member, somebody even if they're no longer alive and not with us. I think it's hard.
Well, it's hard because they're probably not my size. So but can I fit into their clothes?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Just wanna
matter.
Go look at it.
I mean, I would raid Naomi Campbell's closet.
Oh my God, yeah.
She has everything, and I never got to see the exhibit, but I just like, she is literally always on my mood board every single time. I'm like, it's not intentional, it just happens.
That's amazing.
And then if not, like Vivienne Westwood's showroom from
From
her
the
whole life.
yeah.
You know, her whole just like little factory.
That's
I would love
amazing.
to go in there.
Me, the old House of Dior, probably
Okay.
in the 50s. You know, after they came out of wartime, and then they really started to really. That's it.
I bet.
I love.
All right, and how has fashion, like overall, from when you were young to now at this moment, how would you say that it's shaped you or touched your life?
I mean, it's just another microphone for me. I think it's a great way of expressing yourself and feeling good about yourself, connecting with people, meeting amazing people, and like the glamming moments of even my music career have been such a highlight. Like, I love the people that do my hair. I love going to showrooms and trying on pieces and just having, you know, just celebrating how you feel about yourself. And I do think
she looks good in everything. Let me tell you. I mean,
but
hard to not
I
look
do
good.
feel as, you know, little Jillian was like much more understated and was just trying to fit in. So it's really cool to be just known for, you know, doing whatever I want and also pulling it off. Like I think some people, if they have 3 wigs on their head, they're gonna look crazy. But for some reason, it feels normal to me, and it looks normal to me. Like you know, so I think cool.
Fashion was always a big part of my life, even as a child, because it was a big part of my family's life. So we always were dressed to the nines. The Rahm girls, you know, would show up, and we were always dressed to the nines. But what fashion did for me is give me a life and a career. And that's
like an outlet too.
Oh yeah, and to raise 2 kids, and they were babies, and to have, you know, it really gave me a direction and some sort of stability. It took a moment, but you know, it was a path. So.
Well, we are so grateful that you guys took the time to sit and talk to us. I am full-blown obsessed with you, Jillian Hervey. Let's give her a round of applause. She's got a new album coming out.
Yes.
Randi, we're obviously here and want to see some more of your Shine collection. So
Well, the girls are coming down in the pieces, the affordable pieces, so you could see. Come on, girls. And they're major, like beautiful, and they're still fantastic. And they're online. You can purchase them online. You can come here and buy them so we can play with you and thank you. Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't see this
Ooh,
one.
I know. There's a lot. And all the separate pieces mix and match, and you can mix and match color. You can do who you are through who I am. So you pick what's right for you, and that's what you wear. So they're all a lot of different styles, and there are about 10 colors. Lucy, how many colors do I have? I don't know.
20.
Okay, yeah. So they're all kinds of colors. So, yeah.